are you? How are you doing? How are you coping? What have you been dealing with from last week, from last year? What have been the strongest opposition to you? Maybe not even last year, for the last 5 years. What have you been dealing with? Have you been dealing with a lot of hurt? Have you been dealing with a lot of pain, rejection, setbacks? Have you? Do you think that you're healed? But then when you hear of something, you realize that there's still a struggle and God is taking you through a process. Like I would learn that there's still some healing that I need. To have gone through so much rejection, to have gone through so much pain. No, God has added so much to my life. I consider myself blessed and highly favored. I consider myself risen from the ashes and risen from rejection, humiliation, persecution. But I would still consider myself to need some amount of healing. And if you're going through that this morning, if you're going through delay, setback, on the 10th of March 2023, here I am. I'm Angela. And I just want to say to you, just like I'm saying to myself, it is well. Healing comes with process and time, and always praying that God will give you the strength each day to continue to press on. I am here sitting in my garage. I am sitting in the garage where I have all my plants. I love plants. I love plants, and I'm near the road as well. So you will hear vehicle passing by and also persons passing by as well. So good morning. So you would see that in you have to live. You gotta live. You gotta live through God's grace and mercy. Many a times I don't come out to the veranda or to the outside because you get a lot of distraction, and sometimes you can lose your thought. But I am here, and there is the veranda side and all my plants that is there. They help me at times. They help me to know that if God has made the flowers so beautiful, if God has made the trees, the land, and even when you look at the food that you need to eat and you see that it bears fruit, it bears and it goes through a process, whatever you're going through, just think of it, just picture a tree this morning. Picture a mango tree, right? A mango tree. And when you look at the mango tree, it's started out, and you know that it has to has its root first, then you have the trees, you get the branches, the leaf, and then it start to bear, right? It start to bear, and it has to have blossom first, then the fruit comes out small, medium to large, and it turns and it turns and it turns until it get to that nice color, whether it's yellow, orange, purple, all depends on the fruit that it's bearing. The color comes in variety. Just like you and me, we are all varieties. And sometimes we contend with each other, not realizing that we are all different fruits. We will bear differently. Suppose I take on your fruit being an orange, right? And I'm to be a grape. Persons won't experience what a grape is like because there's just oranges. And in our process of whatever we go through, right? Whatever we go through in life is just to perfect us. Do we know what the tree goes through to actually bear fruit? Can you imagine that all our pain, all our suffering, it has to do with the process in being who we are? Getting our roots, getting the trunk, getting the branches, getting the leaves in order to bear, so that others can reap after our tree. I know the enemy would want to tie up my words this morning and cause all sorts of distraction, because it's the first I'm being bold to come into the noise, to come into the distraction, to actually do a video. Always want to be in that place where I'm not distracted. I call it my little studio. But sometimes God wants us to be in the noise. He wants us to be in the reality of life. It's a part of the process. Go through your hurt this morning. Go through your pain. I have 1,000,001 things that is going on with me. But you know what? The greatest thing that is going on with me? I have life. And I'm still seeing, I'm still hearing. And I have a beautiful home, a beautiful surrounding. And it doesn't always start it out like that. Angela, has moved 10 times in my life. Not to mention the times when I was small and my mother moved. I didn't count those. I'm counting the times when I am on my own and moving. Can you imagine how many times my tree has been disrupted in moving and growing? But I get the grace to continue. I get the grace to continue. I get, the longevity to know that it's not by power or by might, but it is by the Spirit of God. Nothing is impossible with God. When we continue to trust Him, when we continue to rest on Him, when we continue to lean on Him and not on our own understanding, it's the noise. The noise is taking place, but we call it reality. Reality. You go into the open and you get all sorts of things that is showing itself to you. But it's the reality. And the reality is that we have to go through the hurt. We have to go through the pain. We have to go through the suffering. Don't stop. Don't stop your process because it's hard. Don't hold it, because by God's grace, you will overcome. By God's grace, you will reap the reward at the end of the day. But you have to keep on going. You have to keep on pressing. You have to keep on knowing that with God, all things are possible. And the reality is that we're living in a world that is full of disruption. Yes. We are living in a world that is full of disruption, pain, and suffering. That's the reality. But we can smell the fresh air. We can breathe in the beauty of this world, that God has made it. And He has made you and I. And He said that it was good. You are good this morning. No matter what, you are good. This is Angela speaking to you this morning. I can talk for an hour. I can talk for 2 hours. But this morning, I won't go any further but to say that whatever you're going through, I have my share of going through it as well. But I'm trusting God and leaning on His understanding and not on mine, because His grace is sufficient for us to take us to the next level. God bless you, God keep you, and God continue to shine His precious face upon you and give you the rest that you need. Now, see, feel, and seal the vision that God has given unto you. Don't give up. Don't give in. Keep on looking at the beauty of this world. It is beautiful. Whatever God has made, He has made it all beautiful. Rest upon Him now.